earlier today, Microsoft's big event kicked off, and as we've been discussing, culminating with the launch of Windows 11, we might talk a lot about tablets and phones. PCs obviously still very important, and for more on the launch of Windows 11, a lot of things to celebrate there at Microsoft. Very happy to bring on Microsoft Corporate Vice President of Modern Life Search and Devices, Yusuf Mehdi, joining us here on the show, alongside Yahoo Finance's tech editor, Dan Howley, with us as well. And Yusuf, appreciate you taking the time here to chat with us after or during this big event. You got a big day. Talk to me about what the launch of Windows 11 means for the company here as you kind of unveil it for the first time.
Well, thanks very much for having us here. Today is definitely a big day for Microsoft. The announce of Windows 11 is really all about driving a big benefit for people, being able to bring you closer to the things that you love and helping you inspire your creativity. And we're really in a world where the PC has never been more central in our lives. We've focused innovation in kind of 4 areas. First is to radically simplify the design, make it easier to use. We've brought a new way for you to voice, chat, video, and even text message anyone on any phone right from your desktop. And we have a new AI-powered feed to give you the latest information from around the world. And finally, we're bringing more apps, more immersive gaming, and an all-new store. And for the first time ever, Android apps on the Windows platform.
Yusuf, I want to ask, part of the centerpiece of kind of the announcement, we talked about multitasking, the new look, the App Store update, but one of the main pillars of that was also gaming. You talk about how the Xbox app is going to be directly integrated into Windows 11. There are going to be some changes that Microsoft has brought from the Xbox Series X itself. So I guess how important is gaming to Microsoft if it's using this as one of the pillars of Windows 11?
Yeah, absolutely. So gaming has been and continues to be a very big focus for Microsoft. As you mentioned, we've made a big investment there, obviously with Xbox Game Pass, xCloud, and some of the other efforts we've done with our gaming studios. In Windows 11, we're going to advance what we still believe is the best place to play games on the PC. And what you're going to get in Windows 11 is you're going to get faster game load times, more immersive gaming worlds and experiences with DirectX 12. And you'll have the ability to really take advantage of the Xbox app on Windows, giving you as a whole a much, much better gaming experience.
Yeah, Yusuf, I've been following the updates throughout our show. Pretty impressive features here, and it does feel like a direct shot at Apple. When you think about the App Store specifically, you heard Satya Nadella talk about the lower fees, 12% versus 30%. If you use your own payment processor, you could obviously keep 100% as well. And he said that it's going to be the most open ecosystem that plays nicely with others, which seems like a direct shot at Apple. And I wonder, when you look at the whole stack that Microsoft has, how much of those Apple users do you think you can bring over as a result of this big launch?
Well, for sure, as you mentioned, our focus with Windows has always been to provide the most open platform for developers and creators. We think that sets us apart. Our business model is not predicated on having to make money from any one particular thing like App Store fees. We're able to drive a much bigger opportunity for people. And as you mentioned, in this release of Windows 11, we're bringing new capabilities. So if you have your own commerce engine and you're an application provider, you can do that and you can keep all of your revenue. If you're a creator, you can take advantage of the Windows feed. And we want to make all of that be something that ultimately gets better games, better content, better information for people who use Windows 11.
Yusuf, I want to talk about the changes to multitasking here. There were a bunch of different announcements, some that are going to be really, really helpful. Snapping multiple apps on screen at once. I saw a lineup where you had 4 different apps running on one screen in different portions of the window. A change to multitasking when it comes to a secondary monitor where, when you unplug the monitor, everything doesn't just become a mishmash on your laptop. It just minimizes them. When you plug back into the monitor, it'll go back to the way it was. I guess, is that one of the main tenets of Windows? We all are using multiple apps at multiple times a day. Was that something that, a lot of thought had to go into with Windows 11?
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head. I think, we've always had this power in Windows to run multiple apps, but we didn't really do as great a job as we could. And as we're doing now in Windows 11, to snap layouts. So, many times what happens is I might be in a meeting and I'd love to have that that window up, and then at the same time on the right, I can look at my notes. I can actually send an email to someone else. That ability to multitask in a much more powerful way because of the new Snap layouts, that's a big effort. And then as you pointed out, as you shift between devices, because all of us are moving between our phones and our PCs and our tablets throughout the day, now with Windows 11, you're able to smartly have the system just do that for you so that as you move from one device to another, it can auto-adjust. I think that's a huge productivity benefit, and it helps you, helps unlock your ability to be more productive.
And then just on the look and feel changes here, right? We know that there was, Windows 8 and then Windows 10 kind of came in and kind of righted the ship as far as the operating system goes. This feels like a kind of an evolution of Windows 10, but a welcome one in that, you've made enough significant changes where it doesn't feel like old Windows. You have the taskbar at the bottom of the screen. In the center now, you have these kinds of different transitions. What was kind of the thought process in going in with the design of this? Obviously, if it doesn't look good, it's not going to do well for consumers. So I guess how important was that?
Yeah, great question, and great, sort of great attention to all of the detail in there, because you're picking up on all of the key points. The focus with this release, with Windows 11, was to put you at the center of your PC and computing experience. And that is both a symbolic statement and a functional statement. So with the start button at the center, the ability to more quickly get to things, there are a lot of subtle but really powerful things we put into the new Windows. So those transparency of the windows, it gives you a visual cue, it gives your brain a visual cue to say, oh, I see what's behind there, I know what's next to do. The rounded corners. A big part of inspiring people to be creative is to have a more calm, simple environment. So we've put all of that thought into the overall look and feel and design. And so while it is sort of subtle and an evolution, as you said, it's quite profound, we believe, in terms of how it's going to activate people, again, to be more creative.
How much of that evolution that Dan's pointing to was driven in part by the changes that you've seen over the last year? And obviously, Windows still makes up about 10% of Microsoft's revenue. But you've talked also about the changes that you've seen in the applications of Windows, the way in which people use, the users that come. I wonder what you saw over the last year, how much of that helped drive some of the changes that you launched today or you unveiled today?
Yeah, great question. I mean, we've learned so much over the last 18 months because of the pandemic. We've learned basically that there's a new way to do hybrid work, that you can have more inclusive meetings because the chat window in your Teams call lets anyone ask a question without having to interrupt. We've learned that there's a new way to teach our kids at home and be more connected to the work that they're doing. We've learned that there's an ability to connect with family in a richer way than we could before because we've learned how to use these video tools. All of these learnings and many more have gone into the idea of Windows 11. So the notion of hybrid work, of being able to juggle multiple things, life and work at the same time when you're at home, the essence and the spirit and the ethos of that, of how we live, is in this product. And we're just delighted to have people be able to use it to better, live their lives and be able to do the things they want.
Well, appreciate you taking a break from the big launch to discuss it with us. Yusuf Mehdi, Microsoft Corporate VP there, joining us alongside Yahoo Finance's Dan Howley. Thanks again for taking the time.